Hi everyone, this is Kusal from Group 6. Today we are presenting about the AMPS scenario for the subjects SCM 970 Customs Process. So talking about our group members are Manu Alex, Susan Gising, Isha Hitespai Prasanna, Sapna, Bhupesh Sai, me myself Kusal Sharma Bajrai, and Tarandeep Singh, and lastly Tamanna. And moving on to this next slide, talking about the introduction, the presentation delves into the administrative monetary penalty system that is AMPS introduced by the Canadian Border Services CBSA to ensure compliance with Canada's trade and customs regulations. So AMPS provides a fair and transparent framework for penalizing procedural errors through monetary fines rather than criminal prosecution. The slides further explore key processes, implications, and real-world examples to illustrate its enforcement and appeal mechanisms. Further to delve into the presentation, I would like to call Alex.
Hi everyone. I'll discuss about what's AMPS. So AMPS stands for Administrative Monetary Penalty System. So when you look deep into it, it's a civil penalty regime by the Canadian Border Service Agency. So the main purpose of this is to ensure the compliance with Canadian trades, border, like customs laws and all. So under this AMP, monetary penalties are issued for non-compliance by individuals, brokers, and business involved in importing and exporting goods. So next slide. So the history of AMP, it was like introduced in 2002. It was replaced all the no the last slide. So AMPs replaced all the enforcement tools that were like established before it abolished all of them and introduced this on 2002. So because it's more learned on criminal prosecution, it was created to provide a fair, transparent, and predictable penalty system. So AMPS marked a shift from punitive criminal enforcement to compliance-based administrative options. So there was a sudden shift from the past traditional way to a future more advanced way. So it will be like more predictable. The penalty and all, it will be more predictable. Next is the significance. So why we need this AMP? So what is this makes the difference? So it encourages people and business to follow rules. So all of them will follow the rules. So bigger fines to repeat mistake. So if someone is getting like a 10,000 or 20,000 fines for the current mistake, they won't repeat it. So it has a huge significance in the market. So also it ensures a goods are properly documented and valued. So one of the most important thing during an import export in the customs is the document. So all the importers and exporters will make sure that all the documents they have are correct and up to date. They don't have any mistakes. Next one is matches penalty to how serious the mistakes is. So, for example, if it's not a that much good big mistake, it's going to be like $100 or $200. Depends on the crime or the depends on the thing that the importer exporter done. The penalty will increase. It can go up to like 50,000, 60,000, or above. Next one is helps CBSA manage secure and smooth trade at the border. So if the exchange of borders, it should be smooth. If one thing is getting hauled in the border, they need to wait for like days or even months to get cleared from that. So that's about the significance of AMP. Next, I call Sapna to discuss about the next part.
Hi everyone, myself Sapna. So I'm going to discuss about the monetary penalty document. So a monetary penalty document or MPD is a formal notice issued by a regulatory body such as the CBSA to impose a financial fine. It is not just about the money. It is actually a key informants tool that help ensure businesses and individuals comply with legal rules and procedures. So first, there are some key information. First, who is involved? This includes both the authority issuing the fine and the recipient. Second, what happened? The document clearly explained the violation and the rule of law that was broken. Third, how much is the penalty? The fine amount and the reasoning behind it are detailed. Finally, what's next? What's next? It's outline how to pay the fine, the payment deadline, and how to appeal if needed. So overall, the MPD is clear, structured, and designed to make accountability transparent. Next slide. Uh, Now let's talk about the implication of receiving an MPD. For the recipient, the consequences go beyond just paying the fine. There an immediate financial impact. Money has to be paid out to of pocket or company funds. There are also reputational damages, especially if the penalty becomes public. It can hurt trust with customer, client, and the business partners. and there are legal ramifications. Violation can set precedent and might lead to further disciplinary or legal action. Furthermore, in summary, an MPD is more than a financial penalty. It is a strong warning. It acts as a deterrent, reminding everyone involved in trade and custom of the importance of complying with legal and regulatory standards. Next slide will be covered by Sujan.
Thank you, Sapna. Now let's start with what to do after receiving a notice of penalty assessment or NPA. First, if you accept the penalty, you should pay it following the instruction given in the document. Make sure to keep the payment confirmation as proof of your records. If you disagree, you can submit a written appeal to the CPSA Resource Directorate. Your appeal must include the reason why you are consenting the penalty, any supporting documents, and a copy of the original NPA. Remember, the appeal can lead to three possible outcomes. The penalty may be upheld as is reduced or completely cancelled. Finally, timing is critical. Payment must be made within 30 days and appeal have to be submitted within 90 days. Missing these deadlines and result in further enforcement actions. Next slide. Now, if you choose to pay the penalty, the case is considered reserved and closed. However, keep in mind that the violation will remain on record, which may lead to increased scrutiny or audits by CPSA in the future. On the other hand, if you appeal the penalty, the CPSA's Research Directorate will review your case. They may appeal the penalty, reduce it, or cancel it altogether depending on their findings. As a reminder, always carefully review your NPA and respond within the deadlines. Late responses mean losing your appeal right and potentially facing legal complications. Now, here will be Bhupesh will be continuing further.
Thank you so much, Susan. Hello, everyone. Today, I will explain the key legal and procedural differences between AMPS and CSER in the context of custom enforcement. Let's start with the basics. AMPS, which stands for Administrative Monetary Penalty System, is a civil penalty system used by CBSA, the Canada Border Service Agency. It is used to enforce compliance with trade laws and regulations when a company or individual violates a rule like incorrect documentation or late filing. The CBSA issues a monetary penalty, but they don't take possession of the goods. On the other hand, a seizure is a much more serious enforcement action. This is when the CBSA physically takes control of goods, vehicles, or currency. Seizure occurs when there is a significant violation such as smuggling, false declaration, or import of prohibited goods. So AMPS is more like a fine, while seizure involves the actual confiscation of items. Next slide, please. Now let's look at some key differences and example between AMPS and seizures. Legally, AMPS is a civil process, where seizure, however, is a criminal charges. Let's go to the example. Let's say a company incorrectly classifies the goods on an import declaration that might result in an AMPS penalty of $500. But if someone tries to bring in undeclared alcohol or narcotics, the CBSA would seize those items immediately. Uh, in conclusion, AMPS is administrative and usually involves minor errors, while seizures are used for more serious breaches and carry heavier legal consequences. For the next part, I will ask my friend Tarandeep to take over. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bhupesh. Hello, everyone. My name is Taran. I will be discussing about PRA or Pre-Arrival Review System. So, what is PRA? PRA is a Canadian Border Service Agency program that allows importer or custom broker to send shipment and accounting information before the goods arrive in Canada. Next slide, please. So let's talk about the purpose and process in importation. So for the purpose, it speeds up the border clearance and reduce delays. It also allows CBSA to complete risk assessment and compliance check in advance. It also supports smoother trade flow while ensuring customer laws are followed. Works together with prior releasing accounting, which lets qualified importers get goods released before paying duties and taxes if they have posted the required financial securities. For the PRA process, so the first one is the shipment preparation. So carrier assign a cargo control number, often called a PARS number, to the shipment documents. The second one is the advanced data submission. Importers or brokers submit cargo and interim accounting data electronically to CBSA before the goods arrive. The third one is the CBSA review. CBSA screens the information for accuracy, compliance, and potential risk. If issues are found, CBSA may request more information or plan an inspection for it. For the next thing, it's border arrival. When the trucks or shipment arrives, the CCN barcode is scanned. If pre-approved, goods are released immediately. If flagged, they go to secondary inspection. For the fifth part, it's accounting and payment. Under the prior release accounting, duties and tax are paid later if importer is enrolled in release prior to payment. Otherwise, full accounting and payment must be made before release. For the next part, I would like to invite Isha to take over. Thank you.
Thank you, Tarandir. So let's discuss about the example of contraventions. So over here, the case title is Incorrect Declaration of Origin by Importer, Canada Border Agency, CBSA. So company name is XYZ April Inc. Name are it's a hypothetical example. So what went wrong? In XYZ, April declared imported textile goods under a CUSMA preferred tariff treatment, claiming the good originated from Mexico. But upon CBS audit, it was found that the goods were actually manufactured in China, not qualified for CUSMA. For that purpose, the CBS determined the origin declaration was false and non-compliant with tariff regulation. Next slide, please. So it will discuss the contraventions of C152 failed to truly fight accurately and completely provide information regarding under the Custom Act. So penalty under this contravention is first offense it's $500, for second offense it's $750, and for the third and subsequent offense is $1,500. So for this, XYZ appear also had to pay retroaction duties and taxes for misclassified imports. So from this example, we can learn the lesson learned is always verify the origin of imported goods within valid documentation. For example, CUSMA certification. Then error is declared can lead to penalties, audits, and loss of trade privilege. And CBSA actively audit importers. Ignorance is not offense. Next, I will hand it over to Tamanna.
Thank you so much, Isha. So I'll be concluding our presentation with a quick recap. The Administrative Monetary Penalty System, or AMPS, is a civil non-criminal system created by the CBSA to ensure that importers and exporters, brokers comply with Canadian customs law. Instead of criminal prosecution, it enforces compliance through monetary penalties. The purpose of AMPS is to promote transparency, fairness, and predictability, which making sure that all business follow the same clear rules. In terms of process, when a violation occurs, the CBSA issues a monetary penalty document. This explains the violation, the amount of a penalty, instructions for payment, and how to appeal. Payments must be made within 30 days, and if someone wishes to challenge the penalty, then appeal must be filed within 90 days. If I talk about the impact of penalties, then it is not just financial, they can damage a company's reputation, affect future compliance or audits, and sometimes it leads to closer CBSA scrutiny. And a good example is the case of XYZ Apparel. They declared their goods under COSMA, claiming originality from the Mexico, but the audit revealed that goods were actually from China. This led to penalties, retroactive duties, and loss of trade privileges. The key takeaways is clear: accuracy and compliance with CBSA regulations protect the businesses from penalties, ensure smoother trade processes, and build stronger relationships with customs authorities. This is the end of our presentation. I would like to thank you for listening us, and now we are open for your questions. Thank you.